Hello, everyone. My name is Rajesh Sundaresan. Welcome to the Gate to EECS IISc Meet 2023. May I request um, one of the students to take over and run the proceedings?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this meeting, Gate to EECS IISc Meet 2023. Hope you are doing well and hope the session will be helpful for you. I will now hand over to Professor Rajesh, who is the Dean of EECS uh, of IISc. Over to you, Professor Rajesh.
All right. Welcome to the Gate to EECS IISc Meet 2023. As I said, I am Rajesh Sundaresan. I am the current Dean of the Division of Electrical, Electronics, and Computer Sciences at IISc. We have organized this outreach event to tell you about IISc's MTech programs and why it might be important for you to prepare and write GATE, the Graduate Aptitude Test in Engineering. First, a few words about the Indian Institute of Science. IISc started about 114 years ago. Through these years, because of our excellent faculty and also our excellent students, and we hope you will become some students in the coming years, IISc has built a reputation as one of the best schools in India. In the NIRF ranking framework, IISc was #1 in the university category and #1 in the research category. If you are admitted to IISc, you will be coming to a top ranked institution in India. Next slide, please. IISc is an institution of eminence, and this has brought us significant amount of funding and enabled us to become one of the best universities in the world. We are one of the first institutions in India to earn this prestigious Institution of Eminence tag. Next slide, please. I'll now say a few words about the division of EECS. The division of EECS is like a large electrical engineering and computer science and engineering department put together. We have 4 departments within the division: computer science and automation, electrical communication engineering, electrical engineering, and electronics systems engineering. You can actually learn more about our departments in the division by searching for EECS IISc on the internet. Next slide, please. Yeah, despite being in 4 different departments, we actually work quite well as a team. There are several research clusters that unite the activities of research and several programs across the departments of the division. And some of these are indicated here: artificial intelligence, analysis and probability, brain computation, data science, cyber-physical systems, data storage. Then you also have controls and optimization, quantum technology, microelectronics and VLSI, power engineering, security, visual analytics, 5G, 6G, and beyond, photonics, and so on. Next slide, please. I'll now speak a little bit about our course and project-based degree programs. We have several degree programs running out of the core departments of the division. For example, electronic systems engineering, electronic product design, electronics and communication engineering, computer science and engineering, and electrical engineering. And these run out of the core department. These are core programs of the department. They run out of the individual departments. We also have several joint programs like signal processing, which is jointly run by ECE and electrical engineering. We also have microelectronics and VLSI, which is jointly run by ECE and electronic systems engineering. The AI program is run by all the 4 departments of the division. In addition, we have robotics and autonomous systems from a closely related Center for Cyber-Physical Systems. At the bottom, you will actually see several other programs which have significant amount of EECS content, and these might also be of interest to you: quantum technologies, computational data sciences, nanoscience and engineering, and smart manufacturing. One of the key specialities of our MTech program is that every one of you who joins the program will do a substantial project which involves 1 year of research, when you'll actually work very closely with the supervisor. Next slide, please. These are the papers that you will have to write in GATE to be able to apply for admission in these programs. For example, for computer science and engineering, it's the CS paper that you'll have to write. For AI, it's the CS, EC, or WE, and so on. We'll share these slides with everyone. In addition, this year, GATE has introduced a new paper on data science and artificial intelligence. So while it is not included here, at least the signal processing and the AI program and the robotics and autonomous systems programs will already support people that are taking the data science and artificial intelligence program. And it's possible that other programs also will. These will be finalized only in January. We'll be able to make a final indication at that time. But for now, we are able to say that signal processing, artificial intelligence, and robotics and autonomous systems, which comes out of the Center for Cyber-Physical Systems, they will also support for admission the new GATE paper in data science and artificial intelligence. Next slide, please. There are several sources that you can use for preparing for GATE. For the latest syllabus, here is the link. You can also type on one of the search engines, GATE 2024 syllabus and papers, and you should be able to get to the site. There are also many standard textbooks that you can use to prepare for GATE. You can view several online courses in GATE based on the syllabus for the particular paper that you are interested in. Finally, the GATE NPTEL portal also has model solutions videos, which might be useful to you. Next slide, please. I'll now try to say a few words about why IISc. Next slide, please. We are an institution of eminence. We are India's #1 university. We are also India's #1 in research. We are #2 overall in India, and these are under the NIRF ranking methodology. We are also #6 in citations across the world as per the QS rankings. If you come to IISc, you work with scientists who are at the who are doing cutting-edge science and technology research and development. Next slide, please. Every admitted student at IISc will be given a scholarship, those admitted to the MTech and the PhD programs. And there are also several organizations that give enhanced scholarships, and those are the organizations that are listed there. Some of them actually give enhanced scholarships for MTech project students, and these can be between 1.5 and 2 times the regular fellowship. Next slide, please. We have deep connect with several industries that do cutting edge research. Here are some examples, and these are only a subset of the several deep connect work that we do with industries. The first one here is with Wipro. The second one is with British Telecom. We have the British Telecom India Research Center. The third one is with Cisco through their CSR program. They support us a center called the Center for Network Intelligence. In addition, there are also several sponsored research that we undertake with Microsoft Research, Amazon, and other institutions. Next slide, please. We also have several deep tech startups coming out of IISc. There is a good chance that you may be part of one of these exciting startups. Here are a few that our faculty and students have started. Mynic works on endoscopy training. Simyo focuses on electromagnetic interference and electromagnetic compatibility characterization. Kinome works on knowledge graphs. Polymage works on newer generation domain-specific processors. And Raghavera is for Indian language technology solutions. And there are many more. Next slide, please. Our students get a lot of opportunities to do cutting-edge research, pursue PhD and postdoc abroad, and also get outstanding placements in the industry. Vibrant student community that's engaged in a whole lot of activities beyond research. They are engaged in sports, culture, arts, literature, cinematography, and the like. Next slide, please. Here is EECS's vision. Our vision is to strive to be among the world's foremost in electrical, electronics, and computer sciences. And we strive to be the foremost by offering world-class education that trains future leaders in EECS, and also by creating breakthroughs that meet societal needs. Learn about us by going to this website, eecs.iisc.ac.in. Next slide, please. Thank you. I wish you all the very best. Don't forget to register for the GATE examination in an appropriate stream if you want to join IISc's MTech programs. Thank you. I now give it back to the students to conduct the rest of the session.
Thank you, Professor Rajesh, for your nice introduction and giving details. It can definitely help them out. Yeah, I think should we go to the questions that some people have started to post some questions in the chat itself, and
So,
some may be interested to directly ask.
one suggestion is for you to go through the questions on the chat one after another in the sequence in which they are posted. And then you can either read out the question or request the person to unmute themselves and ask the question one after another. So please, you can take control and direct it to the appropriate person. Read out the name of the person who has posed the question and ask the person to ask the question by unmuting. Thank you.
Yeah. I see a question. Let's start. I see a question about quantum technology from Sriparna. Yeah, she is asking, can you brief about quantum technology? I am interested.
Yeah, okay, I'll take it. Quantum technology basically it's the behavior of electrons, like once quantum tunneling and all those things, quantum entanglement, all those things. Study of all those things is covered under the quantum technology study, and basically these can be used for many purposes like quantum computing and all. So yeah, that's the brief about quantum technology, if you ask me.
And what happens in quantum computing?
Yeah, basically quantum computing is in normal computing, it's basically a sequential process. While in quantum computing, you might be able to compute many things parallelly and simultaneously. So that's the basic in quantum computings. Yeah.
And I think IISc also has one MTech in quantum technology, right?
Yes, it does. There is an MTech in quantum technologies. And just to add a little bit to what Tom said, when you look at quantum computing, one of the things that you are able to do over and above classical computing is make use of quantum mechanical processes. And that involves setting up qubits and manipulating qubits. That manipulation of qubits is something that is known to provide some advantages over classical computing. There are several places where you can read about what kind of advantages there are. The quantum technologies program enables you to train in the particular program and then maybe build qubits, build control circuits for qubits, manipulate the qubits, and so on. Build small scale computers and then start from there to building larger scale computers. Thank you. Next question. Go to the next question.
Yes. Tanjim is asking, could you explain about nanotechnology? Professor Rajesh, if you can.
So once again, I'll take that question. So nanotechnology is a program that is being offered by the Center for Nanoscience and Engineering. What that does is looks at device characterization and then fabricating many such devices and so on at the nanoscale. They manipulate things at the nanoscale. They design at the nanoscale and control things at the nanoscale. So those are like, for example, you might want to, let's say, build sensors at very small scale, a MEMS sensor, and so on. And that involves, once again, devising circuits for that, coming up with novel devices, characterizing them, and so on. And it requires in-depth preparation in solid-state physics and solid-state device characterization. And the Center for Nanoscience and Engineering offers that particular program. You would be interested, take a look at Sense website and look at what they have to say about it. Thank you. Next question.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Shuriya is asking, is there embedded system engineering program at IISc Bangalore? So I think IISc has a department, DEECS, as Professor Rajesh pointed out in his slides. So DESC offers two MTechs. One is VLSI and another is Electronic Systems Engineering. So I think the Electronic Systems Engineering covers more of the embedded systems and associated things. I think Tom's, if you can add anything more.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, actually, DESC offers 3 courses: EPD, Electronic Product Design, ESC, and in collaboration with the Electrical Communication Department, it offers VLSI. So actually, if I talk about if you want to do MTech in embedded systems or something, actually what happens is here there are few core courses which you need to complete, and thereafter you can opt in for any course. It's based on your liking, and if you are interested in embedded systems, you can definitely opt for embedded systems courses here, which are really helpful in getting our concepts clear and help you build great things. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Can you repeat the branch name that has to be taken for embedded?
For embedded systems, you can basically take electronic systems engineering, or else you can go for electronic product design.
So then someone is asking, is admission into AI program the next year possible through CS GATE? I think, yeah, definitely. MTech AI considers 4 GATE papers, as Professor Rajesh showed you. Yeah, definitely CS is one of them. The next question is posted by Abhay Sharma. Is it worth it to join MTech CSE in top IITs or IISc at the age of 26? I want to drop out of a third generation IIT and give GATE 2025 to get admission in top IITs. Professor Rajesh, if you would like to take it.
Yeah. So this is a difficult question because it depends on the personal choices that one has and one would like to make. It's a very personal choice. When you join, you're in an IIT at this point, and when you're in that IIT, there are opportunities for you to pursue, let's say, an MTech or a PhD in that place. When you join IISc, you start afresh. You will begin with an MTech in that particular stream that you would have gotten admission to. And as I said, it's a very personal choice. It depends on what your priorities are and so on. One suggestion for you would be that you can always take a decision after you gather more information about the opportunities for you at an IIT, the position in which you are right now, and then also opportunities for you once you join IISc after research. But in the meantime, if you'd like to join the MTech program, you should probably register for GATE and take the MTech CS GATE anyway. So I think that said, you should do your research and find out what is most important for you and then take an appropriate decision. Thank you. I'll now hand things back to Devakan.
Thank you, Professor Rajesh. Yeah, there is a next question by Abhishek. Is age plays an important factor for MTech admission? Yeah, I can kind of take it. So yeah, it depends on the end goal, I think, that you want to pursue in future. For example, if you are planning for PhD and academic career, there might be age preferences if you want to come into academic career. But other than that, I think it's about going to industry, and if you do an MTech from a good institute like IISc, it opens up many opportunities to you, enabling you to work on many cutting-edge technologies. So there, I think the factor is lesser. However, you might be interested to look at any age constraints based on the career you want to pursue or where you see you later in. Again, it's a kind of personal opinion. Yes. Next question is posted by Prithvi. What are the engineering fields physics graduates can enter, like nanotechnology, quantum technologies, and what are the opportunities available in quantum technologies in India? Professor Rajesh, will you be able to help her?
So physics graduates can enter into, for example, nanotechnology. and also quantum technology. We haven't put the details here because those two programs are actually run out of the Center for Nanoscience and Engineering, and quantum technologies is an initiative that's run across multiple divisions of the institute. So here in today's meeting, we are largely focused on the EECS and the associated requirements. Nevertheless, you can go to the IISc website for these two programs and see what the gate requirements are for those programs. And those that have strong foundations in physics should be able to write the appropriate gate examination and apply for this particular program. Now, with respect to what are the opportunities in quantum technologies in India after you graduate, I think this is a growing field. There are many institutions that are, it's also a nascent field. There are many institutions that are setting up laboratories. There are initiatives in various research institutions, and those that graduate after completing the quantum technologies will be entering a domain where there will be a lot of opportunities from these research institutions. It's sort of like entering into computer science, perhaps in the 1950s or so. There are a lot of opportunities. Of course, you have to identify which institutions are the ones which have these advanced technologies and are developing those advanced technologies. It will not be like computer science and engineering, for example. But that said, the faculty members at the Indian Institute of Science are closely engaged with many institutions, and there are likely to be opportunities for you after you graduate from the Quantum Technology Center. Thank you. I'll now hand it back to Deva.
Thank you, sir. Next question is by Suraj. Sir, is there any non-gate entry for students who are from centrally funded institutes? I think as far as MTech is concerned, it is only restricted to IITs who can apply without gate based on the criteria. However, PhD admissions are open to other centrally funded institutes as well with non-gate option.
Yeah, so if I may correct what you said, Devarpan,
yes.
if you look at the MTech course programs, all the MTech course programs that we highlighted, electronic product design, electronic systems engineering, computer science and engineering, electronics and communication engineering, and then the one from electrical engineering, and then the joint ones which are AI, signal processing, as well as VLSI, microelectronics and VLSI. All of these programs will admit only based on gate. If you have not written gate, if you have not qualified in gate, you will not be able to take, you will not be able to apply for admission to these programs. There are some sponsored candidates that can apply for these programs from the defense services, from ISRO, and other entities like that. But those are based on agreements that they have with the Indian Institute of Science. For open admissions, one has to write the gate. Now, the question about non-gate entry is possible only for research admissions. There are two kinds of research admissions that are possible. One is PhD and the other one is MTech research. For people that want to enter into these programs, the research programs, without having written gate, there is a possibility for students who come from centrally funded technical institutes, and they must have procured a CGPA of 8 or more. What are the centrally funded technical institutes? You can actually get that information by going to the IISc webpage and looking at the list of centrally funded technical institutes. Thank you. With that, I hope it's clear. We can go back to the Devarpan and who will take us to the next question.
Thank you. What kind of questions can we expect from machine learning and AI at the newly introduced GATE DA paper? Professor Rajesh, if you can please take it.
Yeah, this is a new paper. I do request that the students to take more questions than handing it over to me, but nevertheless, I'll try to answer this particular question.
Yes.
So the GATE DS and AI paper is a new paper. This is a paper that has a syllabus that has been put up. Because it's a new paper, there are no past papers that you can look at to be able to maybe practice and try your hand at this particular paper. Nevertheless, if you look at the syllabus has several components from papers which have, for example, probability and statistics or data structures and algorithms. So you can actually look at the syllabus and then look at other program syllabus which have common elements. And then if they have common elements, then if you go to those other papers, you should be able to see some questions that might be from this particular syllabus component. Despite this, there will be possibly some topics like, for example, machine learning and AI. These are likely new topics for which you may not find past question papers with questions in these topics. The way you can prepare for them is perhaps by going to courses that NPTEL offers on these domains, and then see what they have to offer, what kind of topics are covered. The syllabus elements, if you go to the corresponding NPTEL courses on that topic, you might be able to learn something from that and then try your hand at it. I think that's perhaps the way you ought to approach this, given that this is a paper that's appearing for the first time. Thank you. Back to you, Deva.
Professor Adarsh, sorry for the interruption. So for machine learning, can we explain numericals and from there, numericals?
Yeah, it is not clear exactly what the questions are likely to be. And that is something that if I say anything, I would only be guessing. And so it is something that maybe perhaps some sample papers will be put up eventually by the GATE team. So I urge you to go visit the webpage, and also you can query with GATE directly. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Professor, for your answer. Next, Ritik is asking, can you elaborate on the scholarships or stipend that a VLSI MTech gets apart from normal GATE scholarship? Maybe Tom's, can you address that?
Yeah, Devapan. Actually, all the students, if not, I guess all the students in IISc MTech, they get a scholarship of 12,400 every month, which is basically enough for covering all the expenses. And apart from that, students also get scholarships from institutes like Cisco and all, as was mentioned in the slides. And yeah, I guess that covers it up. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. What are the steps after GATE examination for joining IISc? Aniket, will you be able to take that?
Yeah. So after your GATE examination, you can apply for IISc. There are two ways to actually get into IISc. You can come for the MTech course, or you can do the direct PhD course also. For direct PhD course, you'll have an interview and then you'll be selected into that. For MTech, it will be some departments have interview and some departments have written exams plus interview. So everything would be posted on the department's website, or when you apply for the department after get a GATE score, you can look it up in the applications, like what are the next steps for the departments that you want to get into. Yeah, back to the department.
Yeah, thank you. So the next question is asked by Nikhil. What is the best way to enter into direct PhD program after BTech? Aniket, you will be.
Yeah, so it is actually the same as you applying for an MTech, but there, instead of the option of selecting MTech, you choose direct PhD program. There will be an option to choose for direct PhD program. You'll have as I said before, you'll have an interview plus some departments will have written exam plus interview. So if you're from a not centrally funded institute, as Professor Rajesh has told us before, then you need to get a valid GATE score and then apply using that valid GATE score to get direct PhD program. But if you are from a centrally funded institute like IITs, NITs, the list is also given in the IISc website when you will apply. Then you can directly apply to the PhD program. There'll be a cutoff for your CGPA. So you need to have at least, I think the cutoff is 8 CGPA. If you have an 8 CGPA in any centrally funded institute, Then without GATE, you can directly get into a direct PhD program after BTech. Yeah, back to the Deepak.
Is there a question by Asta? Is there a part-time non-sponsored PhD program available for industry professionals at IISc? Professor Rajesh will be.
Yeah.
will be-
So we do have a part-time program for MTech, and that is what is called the MTech online program. There are 3 streams that offer admission to the MTech online program. 3 streams are artificial intelligence, data science and business analytics, and the other one is electronics and communication engineering. Now, to get admission to these 3 streams, you need to be in a company that has already entered into an agreement with IISc, a memorandum of understanding to sponsor students to this particular program. There are a few companies that have already entered into an agreement, and it's a long process. And if your company is already one of those that have already entered into an agreement with IISc, it's possible for you to work with your company. If it is not, you can still approach IISc and your company to see if your company would be interested in entering into an MOU. And without an MOU, it would not be possible to get admission to this program, and you have to be sponsored by the organization where you work. Typically, students that join this program try to finish their masters in about 2.5 to 3 years. They do it part-time. Classes are between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. and on weekends. And there is a project component also, and there is a way in which the project component is evaluated. For more information, I suggest that you look at MTech online at IISc, or you can go to iken.iisc.ac.in. ICAN is IKEN, iken.iisc.ac.in. Back to you, Devarpan.
Hello, sir. Pardon, sir. I have one question about MTech online course.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, is it not allowed to for a student whose company is not like a sponsor?
Yeah. So students
think
cannot
if I-
directly apply to this MTech program. They have to apply through their company, through their sponsoring company. And that is what I had mentioned, that if your company is already some entity that has an MOU with IISc, then you can approach through your company. Otherwise, you'll have to ask your company you have to check whether they would be interested in sponsoring you. And if yes, would they be interested in signing the MOU with IISc? Go to IISc's MTech online webpage. You can just Google search, or in your favorite search engine, search for MTech online IISc, and all the details are there.
And
I think in the interest of following a protocol here, if you have a question, I request you to put it on the chat, and then we'll come to it at an appropriate time. Just
Okay,
because others
okay, pardon, sir.
raised questions. Thank you.
Professor.
Back to you, Devarpan.
Thank you, Professor. Then Sattam Dhar is asking, can you brief about MTech Semiconductor Technology program which was started last year? Nilanjana, will you be able to take that?
Yes, actually, semiconductor technology program was is sponsored by Center for Nanoscience. So it is mainly focuses on the device physics and all that Professor Rajesh has told earlier. That was the nanoscience and engineering. So the same department is sponsoring this course, this MTech program also. So I think it's more related to semiconductor devices, more solid state devices. Those kind of concepts are required from the last year. So you can go to the VLSI industry and related device industry, and you can have a flavor of real life fabrication also through this MTech program. Okay, that's all about. I'll hand it over to Devarpan.
Thank you, Nilanjana. Next question is by Sriparna. I am doing MS in IIT Kharagpur. I am interested in PhD program in quantum technology from IISc.
Yeah, you are doing currently MS in IIT Kharagpur. PhD in quantum technology, the research clusters that are in EECS, I know of 2 departments which specifies in work under quantum technology. So you can apply in ESC or ECE department. So when you apply for PhD, you apply department wise, and once you apply for the department wise, during your interviews, you'll be given a form in which they'll tell which field of expertise do you want to work in. So when I applied to ESC, there was an option of choosing what field of research that I'm interested in. There you'll see that ESC and EC also, I think they have this field of expertise of quantum technology. You can click on that, and the interview will be based on the panel with those who work in quantum technology. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. Back to the Devapan.
Thank you. Thank you, Aniket. Next question is by Nilesh. Can a BTech mechanical graduate, if one clears GATE computer science and get admitted into IISc CSE department, can he or she keep up with the MTech computer science coursework as per with others? Rupasri, will you be able to take that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I think people do switch branches and they do take CSE, but the thing is, IISc courses maintain quite a bit of standards, and some courses, at least at the master's level, there might be some prerequisites that you would need to do before you take that course. So if you can figure that out, I think you should be able to cope. But as I said, the academics is rigorous. It's a world-class university, so the academics is rigorous, and you would have to do the gap courses that is necessary for your understanding.
Thank you, Rupasri.
Yeah.
Next question is by Ram Ratan. What should be the rank or scorecard for general category in GATE to get into VLSI? Nilanjana, will you be able to take that?
May I take this question? I think for all such questions, we actually published the GATE cutoff for the previous years. There is a link that is there on the IISc website, which basically tells category-wise exactly what the cutoffs were last year for securing admissions. I request.
Excuse me, sir. In that, I see only the not how many ranks get through that. I just wanted to know that.
Only the cutoffs are given. The number of ranks is not usually given because the number of students varies from year to year. So therefore, I think you can focus on the GATE rank that is made, and that is a good indication of what would be your chances of getting in the next year. Thank you. We'll go to the next question.
Yeah, next question is by Sriparna. Is quantum signal processing available for PhD? I think the quantum signal processing faculties are there in EC department. I think they can apply for PhD in EC at IISc, and they can work with the associated faculties. If that was correct, Professor Rajesh, if you had anything to add or correct me.
So is quantum signal processing available for PhD?
Yeah, it's a question.
Yes, I think there are several faculty members that are working on quantum information processing. And what one could do is look at, there is something called the IISc, I'll just turn on my video as well. There is something called the IISc Quantum Technology Initiative, IQTI. You can do a search for IQTI in IISc, and that will take you to a web page that shows all the quantum technologies activity. And there are faculty members who work on the quantum information processing related activity, quantum algorithms, and so on. That would be a good way by which you can explore which are the faculty members that would be willing to guide PhD students in this domain. Now, with that, Devapan, I will ask you to go back to the question by Aman Sawan. Aman Sawan, I think. The question is, there is a new program, data science, starting this year. Where can I find sample question papers for that? So from there, you can maybe take the questions once again.
Yeah, is Professor Rajesh, is there any sample question papers for this?
As far as I know, I'm not aware of sample question papers yet, but you could write to GATE office directly and ask if there would be sample question papers that they would put up. Chances are they might, but I'm not sure. But what you can do is you can look at common syllabus elements and then go to other papers which have intersection on the syllabi, and then you can look at questions from that particular topic. That would be one way, one strategy that I would use if I were in your position. You can go to the next question.
Next question is by Miridul. Can you brief about MS research program in brain computer interface or nano or neurotechnology in IISc regarding the program, curriculum, and admission process? Aniket, will you be able to answer that?
Yeah, so I'm not sure, but I think there are PhD programs for brain computer interface and neurotechnology in IISc, but I don't think it completely comes under the EECS scope. And I think Professor Rajesh could answer the.
Yeah, maybe I'll add a little bit to what Aniket has said. So if you're looking primarily at the brain computer interface, or let's say neuro related prosthetics and devices of that sort, there are several groups that are looking at activities of this sort, research in this domain. You're looking at MTech research or PhD research. Like you've indicated MS research, but the correct program would be MTech research. So the MTech research program at the ECE department has collaborators from the Center for Neuroscience. So if you come to the interview here, you might be able to indicate some work in this topic, or indicate and express an interest in this topic. And there are faculty members from the Center for Neuroscience and ECE that put projects together on this topic, and that might be of relevance to you. Similarly, there are people from Center for Neuroscience who are associate faculty at the Computer Science and Automation department. And if you come for the MTech research or PhD there, you might be able to indicate that as an interest, and then faculty members will appropriately interview you. Also, there is a brain and artificial intelligence program, a PhD program. Similarly, there is an interdisciplinary PhD program where a mathematics professor and a professor from one of the other departments come together and propose projects. And often they propose projects related to brain and modeling of that, and prosthetics associated with that. So the WE department has several faculty members who work in this domain. So the kind of program that you should be looking for is MTech research or PhD. That's the research admissions. Even for research admissions, GATE might be important. If you do not already have an MTech, you should be GATE qualified to apply. Or alternatively, you should come from a centrally funded technical institute with a CGPA of 8 or 9. Thank you. I think, Debarpan, you have missed one question in between. You may want to look at that before you proceed.
Right. What are the opportunity offered in the VLSI and microelectronics course, and why a student must choose IISc over the other IITs? Nilanjana, can you take it, please?
Yes, sure. So the VLSI and microelectronics program offered by the EESc department, Electronic System Engineering department, it is one of the India's best course. Actually, there are several regular courses, core courses that comes under this program. So that are very beneficial to build a career in very relevant to VLSI industry and all. And also, moreover, you will get a hands-on of those like the courses, especially embedded system courses and analog VLSI, digital VLSI. Those courses are very relevant to industry, and those will help you to make use of it. So I think this course.
Hello, everybody. Am I audible?
Yes.
Good evening, everybody. I am pursuing my last year of engineering. I just wanted to ask the students in the panel that why did you choose IISc over any other IITs?
I choose mostly, I was focusing some faculties. So those professors are like, as IISc is India's number one research institute. So it has, so I was focusing in some domain of research that IISc is able to provide.
I actually have a interest in automotive ICs. So will this course be very relevant, the MTech program for VLSI and microelectronics?
Automated, I think you can check with the course program also. I have just brief about it. So you can check with them and you can contact with those faculties also.
Thank you so
As
much.
per, so I think it will help. You
If
can
I-
go
if I-
through the ESC department webpage.
If I may come in here, the ESC and electronic power devices, they might be something that come close to automotive chipsets, etc. More particularly ESC. Also MVLSI, but the focus on MVLSI is a broader VLSI program. There is also an MTech program in transportation engineering and mobility engineering. Sorry, not transportation engineering, but that would be more focused on like electric vehicles, chipsets for that, control of electric vehicles, and so on. So that might also be of interest. That said, I will request everyone to post their questions on the chat. Once again, I repeat this. And this is because I think there are several people that have already posted their questions. And let us go in the order in which they have posted their questions. That way, everyone will get a chance. Thank you. Back to you, Debarpan. And maybe in about 5 minutes, you can hand things over to the question.
Yes, thank you, Professor. The next question is by Ismit Kaur. Can a person who has done both post-graduation and graduation in economics be eligible for the GATE computer science examination?
Devarpan, I can take it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the requirement for GATE CSE is you need a bachelor degree in engineering technology, science, and I think economics is also there, but you can go to the GATE website and check it. Like before, I think you might have applied, the application dates are done for GATE, right? So if you wanted to apply, then you would have seen the eligibility criteria that is given while applying the GATE. But I think graduation in economics, they can apply GATE CS.
So if I may come in here to just to clarify, Aniket. So people that have done an MSc, that is the equivalent of a BTech. So if you've done MSc in economics and you write the GATE CS paper, you will be eligible to apply for the MTech in computer science and engineering. And another correction to what Aniket had said, just one moment, please. Another correction to what Aniket had said. The GATE deadline is 13th of October, so there is still time to apply for the GATE paper. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you, Professor, and thank you, Aniket. The next question is by Mitesh. How are the startup initiatives funded? Are all research and development done in IISc focused on industrial problems, or are they academic in nature? I think, the startups are mostly focused towards industrial application and products. There is a center called SysTup here who actually funds those initiatives, and also, if I am not wrong, they provide some accommodations and office arrangements to get them help them started, in addition to the seed funding, etc. Professor Rajesh, if you could add.
Yes, I can add to it. The particular center is called Society for Innovation and Development, which has now been modified as the Foundation for Science Innovation and Development, FSID. You can search for SID or FSID at IISc, and they are the ones that essentially support all entrepreneurship activity of students as well as of faculty members. In addition to that center, we also have it's called the MSME Center of Excellence. The MSME Center of Excellence also provides a business innovation incubator. They also provide support for startups. There is also another entity within the Center for Nanoscience and Engineering. They also support startups. The way in which they support startups is if a student or a faculty member have an idea that they would like to take to market, they help the student and the faculty member assess the marketability of the product. What is the market research that one needs to conduct? How does one conduct it? And then assess whether the product is a viable product, etc. And then they also help put the faculty member or the student in touch with potential funding entities. They also enable you with maybe initial resources for you to get your prototype and proof of concept established. All of these are things that these entities support. Thank you. Back to the bar.
Thank you, Professor Rajesh. Rupasri, I think everyone is, he will be now taking care of the questions and will be able to redirect them to others. Rupasri, you can start from the 6:14 p.m. question by Kiran, I think. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so is there MS in research like MTech in VLSI? And Nilanjana, can you take this question, please?
Yeah, sure. Actually, VLSI is a interdisciplinary MTech program. So it is offered by, actually it is a joint program. It is offered by EC, Electrical Communication Engineering, and EAC, Electronic System Engineering. So if you want to apply for MS in research, you can apply under the Electronic System Engineering department. That department will able to provide the MTech MS research program that is as par with MTech in VLSI. So that's all. Over to you.
I'd like to chip in here. Actually, MS research is not basically like you do MS research in VLSI or ESC. It's like you have to opt for a professor under which you like to go for the research, and when you opt for it, you particularly choose the professor. If you want to go in the VLSI field, you particularly choose for the professor that's currently doing research in the VLSI field, say analog or digital. So yeah, so you have to choose for it, and accordingly you will be redirected. Yeah, back to Rupashi.
Thanks, Thomas. Can you brief about Computation and Data Science Department, its grade preparation, placement stats, and research possibilities? Athar, do you want to take this question? This is about CDS.
Regarding placement stats, I think you should visit the respective website of the department, and that will give you a better idea. With regard to gate preparation, I think the cutoff is also mentioned on the ISC website. Apart from that, MTech research and PhD students will have to go through an interview at the CDS, and research possibilities are actually dependent on the professor you're working with. So I hope that answers your question. Over to you, Rupashi.
Thanks, Atal. I can actually add a little bit more. So the CDS department has two streams. One is the computational science stream, which is the CDS CP, and then the computer and data systems stream, so which is the CDS CS. So in the CDS CP stream, you have computational photonics, medical imaging, biomolecular computation, application-specific knowledge, using applied mathematics. You have research around structural biology and biocomputing. So it is predominantly an interdisciplinary stream. And in the computer and data systems stream, the research includes big data platforms, your CAD, database systems, distributed systems, cloud computing, Internet of Things, high performance computing. There is image and video analytics. So it's quite a thriving research community there. So moving on to the next question by Sujoy. How to manage time for presentation gate exam? So I'm assuming that is preparation of gate exam, and I'll ask Rajesh sir to take this.
Preparation for the gate exam, I prepared for gate a long time back. So it's something that maybe the youngsters amongst you might be able to tell better. But maybe I'll tell what strategies I use. I just went through all the course material that we had in my undergrad program, did quite a few problems along the way, and also looked at a few past question papers to be able to prepare for the gate examination. But that said, I mean, I took the gate examination several decades ago, and I leave it to the youngsters to answer this question.
Yeah, anybody on the panel who has taken it recently, please feel free to pitch in. Maybe Tom.
Yeah, I'll pitch in here. So if you want to manage time for gate exam, basically divide the time that's left into subjects which are core and which carry more weightage. And basically, I'd like to emphasize on getting your concepts cleared, because clearing gate is not just the thing. You have to manage the MTech as well. So get your concepts cleared first, and then GATE is just, it's pretty easy to clear. So give importance to the subjects which you prefer and which you have a stronghold on, and then at the end of the day, at the end of the or near to the GATE exam, revise on previous year questions, and yeah, that's it. So yeah, all the best as well.
Okay, so moving on to the next question. Research opportunities through GATE DA paper. Aniket, do you want to quickly take this?
Yeah, so I think this the DA paper is the new paper that has been circulated for the GATE exam right now. And as Rajesh sir pointed out in the starting, that which programs, which MTech programs the DA paper would entail you to, that is not yet decided, and that will be decided later. And once it's decided, it will be up on the when you're applying for IISc, there you'll find all the requirements for which paper can you apply to which department. And as for research opportunities through GATE, so I believe that you want to do an MTech research kind of MTech research while giving the DA paper. So that will be up after it has been up. It will be on the applications. Thank you, Rupushri. Back to you.
Yeah, thanks. So next question. I am from Artificial Intelligence and Data Science branch and currently in final year. Many of my friends are preparing for on-campus placement, 4 to 5 lakh LPA. And my parents are also forcing me to get a job first. I eagerly want to pursue MTech in my discipline. How do I deal with the situation? So I think I can briefly tell you, and then I'll probably ask Rajesh sir to pitch in. So, see, getting an MTech is actually investing in yourself. So I'm sure your placements would only improve if you were to get an MTech from IISc, right? So, saying that, I'll ask Rajesh sir to add on to whatever I've said.
Oh, is it okay if I pitch in?
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Yeah, so two things, like one thing you can do is, since Rajesh sir mentioned the MTech online course, so if you want to balance two things together, you can try to get a job which already has an MOI with IISc for the MTech online course with the sponsor it. So you can parallelly do the job and also get an MTech in your discipline that you're interested in. If not, then that personal experience, before doing my MTech, I also went to job for 2 years, got an experience in job for 2 years. Then I somehow told my parents that no, I wanted to do MTech, and I switched to MTech. So since there is no age restriction on your MTech, and your GATE score will be valid for 3 more years, so I think you have multiple options to try out. You can try out job first and then come back and sit. So give your GATE, get a valid score. That score would be valid for 3 years. Do job for 2 years. Use that valid score to get into an MTech when you prefer, or get into a job where they already have an MOI with the IISc, so that you can do your MTech and job parallelly. I hope that answers the question. Rajesh sir, you want to add something more?
No, I think we can. Both of you have answered this question excellently. We can go to the next question.
Sure. Is it possible to convert MTech research program into PhD in the same area? If yes, what will be the total duration for MTech research and PhD?
Yeah, okay. So I can take it.
Yeah, go ahead, Aniket.
So yeah, so actually, to the answer to the first question is yes, you can convert MTech research to PhD in the same area, and the total duration for MTech research plus PhD. So MTech research is of 3 years, and then MTech research is of 3 years. You basically convert it in the 3rd year, and then after that, from that 3rd year onwards, it will take 3 more years. So it will be 3 plus 3, 6, or sometimes it goes to 7. So it will be 3 plus 3. Yeah, that is the thing.
Yeah. Thanks, Aniket.
So maybe I will add a little bit because I think 3 plus 3 provides a somewhat conservative number. That is,
yes.
Your MTech and then you go for a PhD. I think the specific question is you're converting from an MTech research to PhD, which means that you are probably done with your coursework typically, if you're done with if you start with the BTech, then you spend 2 years masters and then about 4 years PhD. Those are sort of the norm. Sometimes 5 years PhD. That would be that you take about 7 years post your BTech to complete your PhD. But if you join as an MTech research and then you up convert to a PhD, maybe at the end of your first year, then it's almost like a direct PhD. You might be able to finish within 5 years. That is something that you can sort of take as an optimistic estimate of when you finish. Thank you. Back to you, Rupashri.
What is dropout rate of MTech students at IISc? What should a student consider if they want to give their best at IISc without getting dropped?
Actually, the drop rate of MTech, MTech is a very rigorous course program. So you have to handle those pressures, as Tom's mentioned in earlier during the GATE preparation. You should be very thorough with your basics. That those basics will help you in IISc in different coursework. So if you are thorough in the basics, I don't think you don't need to drop off the courses. So don't think of dropping out of MTech and those kind of things. Be positive and prepared for GATE 1. So over to you, Rupashri.
Thank you. Sir, I have completed my MSc in mathematics. I am interested in PhD in CSA, BTech mode. For COVID, due to some health issues, I have few years gap. If I qualify the GATE cutoff for admission and perform well in the interview, then is there? So basically, I think the summary of this question is, if there is a gap between the BTech degree and eventual joining of PhD, is that okay? Or is that is the gap frowned upon? So Athar, do you want to take this?
Yes, okay. So as such, there is no age limit as to when you can start your PhD. So you having taken a gap will not have any issue. There are many students who do their MSc, will probably work for a few years and then start with their PhD. I hope that has answered your question. Back to you, Rupashri.
Thanks, Athar. I see Robert Bosch Center for Cyber Physical Sciences has courses for CSA students. If I want to get into robotics, will I also be learning the mechanical aspect of it? Toms, do you want to answer this?
Yeah, right. So the Robert Bosch Center for Cyber Physical Systems, it basically it's more inclined towards the robotics aspects, as the name suggests. And if you want, will I also, yes, I guess you might be learning the mechanical aspects of it, like the stepper motors, how the control mechanisms are working and all those things. So yeah, I guess the answer is yes for this. Back to you, Rupashri.
Sure. So yeah, did anybody want to add something? Okay, so the next question is, why is master's essential? What is the additional benefit that it provides more than a graduation degree for an industrial career?
I can take the question.
Yeah.
After BTech, the jobs that you'll be getting is basically you'll be getting a managerial or normal graduate entry jobs that in industry. There you'll not require a high amount of research or technical stuff needed to do those kind of jobs. It will be mainly managerial post, and the salary also would be similar to your master's degree, but after your bachelor's degree. But after master's degree, you'll be mainly filling into posts which require you to do research or more technical aspects of the company, and the pay scale would also be higher compared to the bachelor's. So I hope this answers the question. Back to Krish.
Hello. Yeah, I had asked this question actually. So I wanted to add further on this. Can I?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, no, I actually am working in Texas Instruments, right, as an ED engineer. So the thing is here, even the MTech guys are doing the same type of work that I as a BTech is doing. So that is why this question arose in my mind.
Maybe I'll respond to this here. So typically when you come with a bachelor's degree, there is a certain amount of basic training that you get, which makes you adaptive to the questions that arise. But the depth that you bring to the solution methodologies that you may come up with will be limited by the training that you get. When you do a master's, and particularly a master's in a place like the IISc or the IITs, the kind of training that we provide is you look at a problem, you look at in-depth solutions. So at the end of this exercise of a 2-year program doing the master's, if you give the same problem to a bachelor student or to a master's student, the approach they bring, the solution methodologies that they come up with are likely to be very different. Now, of course, those that have good experience in the industry will be able to come up with similar solutions, but it takes a lot of time to be able to get to that level of maturity. Whereas if you do an MTech, it sort of brings you to the threshold of what the latest techniques are, and then bring to bear your training on that particular thing, and your solution perhaps is likely to be that much better. It's a choice that you'll have to make. It might be true that the kind of problems that are given to MTechs, the kind of problems that are given to BTechs are the same. The kind of solutions that they bring to the table, they might be different. Back to the question.
Thank you.
Yeah, it seems so, but only the pay scale is still mostly similar, not very different, at least in my department. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. We'll go to the next question.
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt. I asked the last question, like for the Robert Bosch one. I don't think so. I think so. You left out the second part, which I asked in that question.
If I want to get into robotics, will I be learning about the mechanical aspects of it? Yes, at the Robert Bosch Center, there are several faculty members from aerospace engineering and also mechanical engineering. They look at control of robotic systems as well. And they will, to some extent, train you on these aspects. But at the Robert Bosch Center, you will also be looking at a lot of sensing and control of these things. Yes, you will learn to the extent that is needed. Yeah, thank you. Sorry for missing this question. Rupashri, back to you.
Yeah. So, what is the difference between MTech through GATE and MTech through the company? Can you please give list of companies which sponsors MTech course at IISc? So I think Rajesh sir had spoken about the MTech online program. The website, when you say MTech online IISc, it'll give you the list of companies that are actually sponsors of that course, right? And the difference between MTech through GATE and MTech through company, I'll ask Toms to take it up.
MTech through GATE and MTech through company. Yeah, okay. I guess
Toms, maybe I can take the question. So
yeah, please.
MTech through GATE would be a very intensive. You'll have a rigorous coursework. You'll be like full time invested in doing your coursework and all, and your research. MTech through company, it's given that you are mentioning the MTech online course. It will be a very a watered down version of the same course, because you'll be parallelly managing your work. You'll have your work going on, plus you'll have classes and projects. You'll do both of them parallelly. So a little bit watered down. It will not be as academically rigorous as the MTech through GATE. But MTech through company, first you should get a job in the company, then the company would sponsor you. So that is a
Aniket, I would like to
Rajesh sir wants to add some. You can.
I would like to make a few corrections. So actually,
Sure,
the MTech online program is equivalent to our regular MTech. So there is no relaxation in the standards. The standards are exactly the same. The degree MTech is equivalent to the degree MTech that you would get if you were a full-time student. The way in which that rigor is ensured is that the period of training is somewhat longer. And so that's the difference between the two programs. Now, there was also another question that this person asked about which are the list of companies that we are engaged in as far as this particular program is concerned. I think what you can do is you can ask whether your particular company is engaged in this particular program with IISc. I mentioned about this website, icon.iisc.ac.in. If you go to the website, you will also have an email address to which you can drop an email. And then you can ask whether the company that you are in is engaged. Now, the point for this, because you have to do it this way, is because these engagements are confidential. And you can ask, it might be best to check with that entity which is running this particular program on whether there is a particular MOU with the company that you're working. Thank you. Back to your question.
I feel that IITs have a better social life and fest than IISc. Can you comment? So just some stats. IISc Gymkhana actually has 27 cultural clubs, ranging from poetry to music to athletics. So you must have heard of Rhythmika, IISc's music club. It has a huge fan following in Instagram. And then you must have heard of IISc Open Day. A lot of students from all over Karnataka actually come and visit our fest. So let me assure you that you're going to have a great social life and a lot of fun while you're studying here. The next question is, I am a CSE student. Which gate paper, CSE or DA, is more favorable for admission to MTech AI program? Rajesh sir, do you want to take this question?
Yeah, so we do not have any preference for one paper or another. What we do is we look at the top rankers in a particular paper, and then we set a cutoff to be able to bring people from various streams into the AI paper, into the AI stream. For the AI stream, for example, you can write computer science and engineering, you can write the AI paper, you can write a bunch of other papers, and all of these streams are also available. For example, the EC paper, students that take the EC paper can also be invited to come for the interviews for the MTech AI program. So it depends on what paper you're writing and whether you're doing that particular paper well or not. Whether you want to choose CS or AI, I mean, this is a choice that you will have to make. I think you should play to your strengths. Thank you.
Sir, I think the next question also, perhaps if you
Excuse
take
me, madam.
Read out the next question.
Hello.
Can you just wait your turn?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
What is the next question, Rupesh? Please read it out.
How much opportunities is available for MTech and PhD candidates in research field except corporate sector? And it is easy to get or not research careers in areas like artificial intelligence.
Okay, so the question, how much opportunity is available for MTech and PhD candidates in the research field? Okay, so many of our students actually take up a position in the industry. That is true after their MTech program. Is it easy to get into the research field? Now, there are several institutions in India and also multinational institutions in India that are actually looking for placements in the research domain. So, if you look at DRDO, for example, they are looking to place people in research. If you look at multinational companies like Google, Microsoft Research, they are also looking for people to be placed into their research divisions. Similarly, if you look at conglomerates from India, TCS Research is one, Wipro has a research team, and many other such entities. They are all looking to see if they can take people into their research wings of their industries. Now, several of them come and ask for students who have training in ML and AI, and therefore there are plenty of opportunities for placements in research. Thank you. Back to the question.
Sir, I think there is a related question to this. Can a PhD student apply directly for faculty position in IISc?
So one of the minimum qualifications for a faculty member, faculty applicant, is that you must have a PhD. So if you're still a PhD student, you might want to wait until you get your PhD. Thank you. Back to you, the question.
Okay. Is there computer science and automation branch in IISc? Yes. It is called the CSA department. Could you describe life at pursuing microeconomics and VLSI? Maybe Tom's or Nilanjana, do you want to take it?
I think it might be microelectronics, VLSA, rather than microeconomics. Perhaps there is an autocorrect error.
Yeah, I'll take it. For example, if you want to pursue the VLSI field, you can basically opt in for, let's say, the digital VLSI or the analog VLSI fields, and basically the front end, back end, RTL design, and all those things. So basically, if you are interested in how the design of microprocessors and all those things are done. And if you want to chip in your means expertise, then I guess MVLSI, that is microelectronics and VLSI, is a good field to pursuing. Yeah, back to you, Rupashri.
Next question, how to crack GATE exam in first attempt? Debarpan, do you want to take this? Athar?
Yeah, can you repeat the question once?
Sure. So how to crack GATE exam in first attempt?
I think I can take that. So I took GATE in 2020, which was also my BTech graduation year. I think it's some way advantageous because when you are going through the BTech courses, you are actually in very much touch and regular courses about those GATE subjects. So what I will suggest is that by third year, first semester or second semester, many of the GATE syllabus courses will be completely finished by your respective colleges. So you can then quickly, in parallel with those courses, you can practice previous year questions and look at the generic the distribution of the marks based on the different subjects, and take higher weighted subjects as more priority, and keep on preparing parallelly with your college courses. That will definitely help you in cracking GATE in the first attempt. Thank you.
Thank you. So the next question, I can take it brief about CSA branch. So CSA is the Computer Science and Automation department. So it was set up quite a few years ago in 1969. So there are three broad areas that the research is focused on. You have theoretical computer science, and then you have computer systems and software, and the third is the intelligent systems. There are about 100 students. Easily just in the PhD program alone, there are more than 30 full-time faculty. In theoretical computer science, you're typically doing research on graph theory, coding theory, algorithms, data structures. And in your computer systems and software, in programming languages, compilers, operating systems, software engineering, and your machine learning, artificial intelligence, and the other research areas come under the intelligent systems branch. They are also cross-listed with departments such as CERC, ECE, and mathematics. So this is a very brief overview, but you should go to csa.isc.ac.in and take a look at the CSA department for more information. Will this recording be shared on YouTube, sir?
Yes, it will be. We'll edit the recording and we'll share. Please go ahead to the next question.
Okay. Suggest a better plan to crack GATE examination in electrical engineering examination 2025. Currently, I am in third year student of electrical engineering. Nilanjana, do you want to take this?
I think Debarpan is able to answer it better. I am a student from. Yeah,
I think we
sure.
just this. But he's
Hello?
asking for a better.
I am from ECE branch, my BTech branch. So if you are currently third year, you can, as Debarpan said earlier, you can go through the same subject that has come in your BTech curriculum. You can focus those in nowadays. So it will help me help you to crack it better. I think it's in 2025, so you have 1.5 years more. So you can prepare well as per your first complete your BTech curriculum, and after that focus the more weighted subject first, and according to that you can proceed. Okay, thanks.
Okay, so the next question is to Rajesh sir. Dear Rajesh sir, when January session PhD form will open?
Yeah, so this year, unlike previous years, we are not planning to have admissions during the January cycle. So you'll have to wait until August for admission to the next year. For that, the application portal will open in March. Thank you. Back to you, Rupashri.
Sure. So what is the procedure for MVLSI and ESE MTech programs admission after GATE exam happens? What is the difference between MTech and MS program at IISc? So the second part is research also, right? So, but I'll let Aniket answer this question. So, what is the procedure for MVLSI? Or maybe Tom's? Either one of you can.
Tom's, I think you can go.
Yeah, okay. So basically, I'll first differentiate between MBLS and ESC admissions. Actually, when you come for it, you have to first apply on the ISC portal for with your GATE scorecard and all, and they'll shortlist based on the GATE rank, and you will be called into the campus. And first of all, you'll be writing a written test. It's basically whatever you have studied in GATE and GATE subjects related to the electronic devices and all. And then later on, interviews will be scheduled both for ESC and MVLSI. Separate interviews are there. And in those interviews, the professors will ask you conceptual questions, not like GATE. Means it's not like the GATE type of questions where you need to do a lot of calculations and all. It's basically they'll check you whether you have a strong foundational knowledge and all. So if you want, the differentiation between these two is very thin. In MBLSI, they'll ask you regarding electronic devices basically, and in ESC.
Please go ahead, Toms. Don't get interrupted. Please go ahead.
Yeah, right. And in ESC, they might ask you a little bit regarding the wired communication protocols and all. And yeah, that's it. And regarding the MTech research and actually it's MS is MTech research in IISc, and the differentiation between MTech and MTech research is for MTech research, what you have to do is while applying the GATE IISc website, you have to mention it's a separate form, and once you have applied for it, you will receive a mail with the list of professors and the labs under which you might want to pursue your MTech research, and you have to apply for that particular lab under which you have to pursue your MTech research.
Just one suggestion to all the volunteers that are answering questions. I request you to be very brief because we have several questions. So not more than 30 seconds for the response. Yeah. Back to your question.
Sure. How to prepare for interviews after clearing GATE? Devarpan, do you want to take this?
Yes. It actually is about, it depends on the department to department how they take the interview. So focus on what they are asking. There will be some guidance provided in the websites, what all subjects are required. For example, I can talk about signal processing side in electrical engineering department. So there might be questions mathematically from linear algebra, probability, signal processing, etc., where you'll be asked fundamentals about those subjects and maybe some proofs you have to carry out and show live in the interviews. So I would suggest that some type of preparation will be required apart from your GATE preparation. So just after your GATE, there are a lot of cut-ups available through many websites, right? So you can guess your position and start preparing for interview is what I'll suggest. Thank you.
Next question is, which programming language should I master as a first-year student as I am aiming for PhD in physics? Aniket, you want to take this?
So,
first-year student, what programming language should they pick?
Maybe I can respond to this very quickly.
Yes.
This is for a physics major. For a physics major, if you're looking into large-scale simulations, etc., then maybe C++ or
Python
appropriate ones. If you're looking at a lot of scripting that you're doing for the data that you're generating, data handling, then if it involves data analysis, then you might want to do Python. Back to you, Rupesh.
How to prepare for ecology and evolution and life science and GATE exam? Rajesh sir, I think you should take this one.
So this is a different subject area than electrical, electronics, and computer sciences. You're welcome to go and look at past papers of past GATE exams in this domain. And if you have some textbooks that are referred to, also GATE, the syllabus will tell you perhaps what textbooks you should be looking at. Because this is a domain that I'm not familiar with, and we are from the electrical, electronics, and computer science area. I do not have any additional advice to give than what I give. Thank you. Back to you, Rupesh.
What is the minimum percentage required in graduation for admission into IISc? Atharv, do you want to take this question? Minimum percentage required in graduation for admission into IISc.
Maybe I will take this question again. So there are some minimum requirements in the first year, which if a student is not able to attain, then the student may be requested to leave. That said, these are reasonably lenient, and almost all of our students do reasonably well to graduate from the program. There are a few that leave the program, but we help the students to the extent that we can to enable them with support systems, etc., to be able to complete. Back to you, Rupashri, for the next question.
Sure. Is there a separate branch for ECE and EEE?
Actually, I could take the question, Rupashri. So there is a department of ECE, Electronics and Communication Engineering. There is a department on EE, Electrical Engineering, and there is a department on EAC, Electronic Systems Engineering. So I think those three cover the branches that you have mentioned, ECE and EEE. I think that's it. Back to Rupashri.
Sure. So
Hello,
what are
madam.
the
Gap years after BTech affect MTech placement and admission?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Yes, gap
but
years after BTech affect MTech admission and MTech placements in IISc.
I think I request this person to post the question on the chat so that we can come to it at an appropriate time. Rupashri, you can go to the next question that's posted.
Sure, sir. What are the potential opportunities for pursuing a PhD following completion of an MTech degree, whether it's a standard MTech program or an MTech with research? The second part of that question is there sufficient time allocated for preparing for job placements, or is it expected that we engage in project work over the summer? I think the first part I can answer to. So I think there are ample opportunities for pursuing a PhD, especially if you have an MTech research. As Rajesh sir said, you can quickly finish your PhD as well. So yeah, there are a lot of opportunities. Is there sufficient time allocated for preparing for job? Of course, I think so for that too, but I'll let Rajesh sir give a better answer to the second part.
So we have an office of career counseling and placement, which tries to place our students, puts them in contact with the industry when they come with requirements, etc. And our MTech students, the second year MTech students, usually start on this placement sometime in October. Right now, placements are going on for the second year students, and it gets completed by the end of December. And during these placements, the MTech research as well as the PhD, who are research students, they can also sit for placements. That said, there are also other opportunities by which the research students can get placed, because usually they might be working on research problems which might have specific expertise that are needed. And often companies come and ask, are there experts in this particular domain we are looking for? We have openings in that domain. So yes, there is plenty of time that's given for placement. Thank you. Back to the question.
Will we have registrations open for Jan 2024 MTech research in computer science classes now?
The answer to that is no. This year, there are no research admissions that will be held in January. So those that were looking forward to it, please try to see if you can consider admissions in the August cycle, for which application portal will open in March. Rupashri, is there any further questions on this? You can perhaps skip those questions. Back to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what is the marks required in GATE out of 100 for microelectronics and VLSI design course?
I think I can answer the question. So the marks that is required vary each and every year because of different paper, like each and every year the papers are different. The people who are answering get different scores in it, but they have a thing known as GATE score, where they normalize your marks among 1,000 among all the departments. So instead of trying to get marks, like what marks is the cutoff, get to know what your GATE score is. So that will be how good I am compared to all others. I think that should answer the question.
Sure. Can a person with less programming skills from electrical engineering department take admission in AI at IISc? So I'll ask Rajesh sir to answer this question.
Yes, we look for GATE in EE also, and the programming experience that is needed for MTech in AI is something that we impart to the students. We have data structures and algorithms, and also electives related to programming languages that students can take. There are also hands-on data analysis courses which will force you to sort of learn on the during the course, on the job, so to speak. Back to you, Rupashri. I have one suggestion to all the participants here. We are already past the time limit that we had set for this particular program. It's now 7:34. We are 4 minutes past the deadline. What I suggest is we go until 7:50 p.m. We'll answer all the questions in order as they have come. And then all the questions that we have not answered beyond that, we'll try to summarize them and add them to the frequently asked questions portal on the EECS page with our responses. They won't be specific questions that you've asked, but we will categorize them, and I request you all to go and look at the FAQ in case we have missed your question. Back to you, Rupashri, for the next question.
How much does institute play a factor for opportunities after PhD? I think Rajesh sir, this is another question for you.
Yeah, so the institute is a well-known entity in the academic circle as well as in the industry circle. And if you say that you are a graduate of the Indian Institute of Science, that does go quite some distance. People then know that you've gone through a rigorous process of training, and a degree holder from IISc will be knowledgeable in these aspects. Therefore, it opens doors, and there is also a greater expectation from a graduate of the Indian Institute of Science. Thank you. Rupashri, back to you.
Thank you. I am MTech in robotics and automation. Can I do PhD in robotics through GATE in IISc?
Rupesh, I can take. Yes, you can do PhD in robotics through GATE. I think CSA department and the Robot Bosch Center that has there are faculties from CSA department, from mechanical department, as Raju sir has previously mentioned, that collaborate with Robot Bosch Center for Cyber Physical Systems. They do work on robotics, so you can check out their website and apply through that. Thank you. Back to you.
Dear Rajesh sir, is part-time PhD offered by IISc? Sir, it's a question too.
Yeah, so part-time PhD is what is called a sponsored mode PhD. So companies can essentially send their employees for a PhD program through what is called the External Research Program, ERP, that's what it's called. So you can search for External Research Program at IISc. Now, even this part-time program involves a full-time commitment for a certain period for about a year or so, when you have to take leave of absence from your company and spend time at IISc doing what is called the research training program. The External Research Program website about IISc, also the IISc admissions page will have details about all of this. Back to you, Rupesh.
Sure. So, can NPTEL certification help in securing the domain in which we did the course? So, I think Athar, can you take this question? At least my understanding would be that it would help you gain skills to understand the subject that you've taken the course from. So, yeah. But Athar, do you want to add something to this?
I agree with what you've said. I mean, apart from GATE, you should also get your concepts cleared so that you can also have a better feel of the course. And in spite of being a rigorous course, you might find it much easier. Over to you, Rupesh. Thank you.
So, if GATE CS paper is already there, then what is the significance of DA paper? So I think DA paper, as Sir pointed out, is a newly introduced paper. It has additional sections, which includes machine learning and artificial intelligence. You also have probability. So I think it is an enhanced version that is important for MTech at AI. So please do check out MTech at AI. Any book to refer for GATE preparation? So Debarpan, do you want to take this?
Yeah, I will suggest that take your textbooks very seriously, because both as far as GATE preparation and next MTech is concerned, your fundamentals will matter. Because otherwise it will be very difficult to go through the courseworks and interviews, etc. So apart from courseworks, I'll suggest many books published by different private agencies which contain the previous year questions. That will be very much important. And yeah, I will also suggest to take mock examinations for GATE, because that will help you to kind of get used to the time pressure, settle your nerves, and etc. Yeah, textbooks, previous year questions, and mock tests at the end will seal the deal for you. Yeah, thank you.
I'm studying mechanical engineering right now. Can you suggest some good MTech course I can take from IISc that can make me more career ready for the future? So,
Maybe
sir,
I'll take the question. So this person is a mechanical engineer. It really depends on what particular program you want to enroll into, which particular area you want to spend your career in. I think all courses, all MTech courses at IISc make you career ready for that particular program. And if you are in mechanical engineering and you have an interest in that particular domain, then there is an MTech in mechanical engineering that you can get. Back to you, Rupesh.
I'm from CS background and I'm interested in hardware accelerators, ASICs for ML. Which program would be more appropriate to research on this field, CS or electronics/VLSI? Toms, do you want to take this?
Yeah, so as I said earlier, in IISc, you are free to take any of the courses here. So it need not be if you are from CSA, you cannot take courses from the electronics department and so. And regarding the hardware acceleration, yes, there are departments in the electronic systems engineering department, and you can take courses from there. And you can also take courses from the CSA department if you want to cover the computer science aspect of it. Yeah, back to you, Rupashri.
Thank you. According to the IISc EE department, doesn't conduct MTech specialization for control theory. And please also tell about research and scope in this field, because other IITs do have this area in EE.
I can take this question. So those that are interested in core controls theory, there are a couple of places where you can apply. EE department is one of the first departments that you should apply to, because they have faculty that concentrate on controls. So you can look up the names of faculty members there in the ee.iasc.ac.in webpage, and the faculty members and their interests. So EE should be one of your choices. You can also look at robotics and autonomous systems, that looks at controls, but not core controls, but controls related to robotic systems. So if you're interested in applying control theory to robotic systems and autonomous systems, robotic and autonomous systems is a place where you should apply. That also has people from the EE department as associate faculty, and EE department faculty would be people that you can go to for your projects. And then there is also aerospace engineering, which looks at controls. So these are three departments which naturally have significant amount of controls. Thank you. Back to you, Krishna.
Sure. So the next question is for MTech research CSA intelligent system interviews. How do I prepare for sub areas of a research stream? So typically, prior to the interview, when you pick a subject, they actually tell you what is the syllabus for the interview, and with that recommended reading as well. So in CSA, that is one advantage. So you should be able to prepare very well with the recommended books for the same. Can I know on which topics we need to or should concentrate more for ECE? So, Toms, do you want to take this?
Okay, for ECE GATE examination, I guess the question is asked for. For ECE, I would suggest get the concepts cleared for the core subjects. If you want to pursue VLSI, get the concepts cleared for ADC. If you want to pursue robotics, get your concepts cleared for embedded systems, control systems, and all those things. So it's basically get your concepts cleared for the course or stream that you want to pursue in. So that's my answer for this. Thank you.
So what are the fields in mathematics that can be taken after graduation, and are distance courses available in that? I think Rajesh sir, perhaps you should take this.
So I think we do not have a distance course in mathematics as such. However, our continuing Center for Continuing Education at times offers courses which are mathematics oriented. So please visit CCE, that's Center for Continuing Education, .iasc.ac.in, and look at the courses on offer. some of them have significant amount of math orientation. Thank you. Back to you, Krish.
Does admission into MTech CS involve an interview apart from GATE score? Yes. Is having previous publications compulsory for getting into PhD CS? No, but I think it is highly recommended if you want to work with a specific professor on a specific area. Are students with a CGPA of 5 to 6 out of 10 eligible for admission? As it says, second class is required on the website, but IIIT Nagpur doesn't give a scale for grade conversion. I'm interested to join IISc for its amazing theoretical computer science group. Rajesh sir, so CGPA of 5 to 6 out of 10, are they eligible?
So for the PhD admission, you should look at the cutoffs in your undergraduate program. Second class is required. Second class, typically in your university, there would be a definition of second class. You can figure out what the definition is. And if your CGPA is something that clears that second class definition, you're most welcome to apply to IISc. Now, if it so happens that you're not eligible, then I think what you can do is there are still opportunities for a PhD at various other locations or a master's at other locations. And if you do your master's well at other locations, there is a possibility that you can apply for IISc at that time. Thank you. Back to you, Ramesh.
Does number of GATE attempts and employment history matter much for MTech VLSI admission? Aniket, do you want to take this question? The number of GATE attempts.
No, I think the answer is no. It doesn't matter how many GATE attempts you have done. They just consider each GATE attempt you give, you'll get a scorecard. That scorecard you'll be uploading that scorecard while the application process. So the scorecard of the GATE that you have given uploaded, that is what will be taken into consideration. Number of times it's not taken into consideration. Back to you.
Is it possible to do PhD in ECE part-time or full-time after 9+ years of experience in industry, tech, and a senior member of IEEE with or without a valid GATE score? I think, Rajesh sir, this is a question for you.
Yeah, so I think if the person has a master's, you can always apply for master's in the sense of an MTech degree. Then you can apply under what is called the MTech qualified stream. If you do not have a master's, if you have an MSc degree, for example, that is the equivalent of a BTech, then you must write GATE to be able to make it into the qualify to apply to the PhD program. Thank you. Back to you.
Sir, sorry for interrupting. This is Vignesh Ranganathan. Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
So I'm the person who asked that question. Sir, I have let me make that question much more clear. So I have an experience of around 9+ in the research plus tech. So I have completed my master's from a very good university from through GATE. So now so GATE qualification is needed for PhD direct means like the full-time PhD. That is my question.
Yeah, it is needed for your full-time PhD if you do not have a master's. If you have a master's, you can apply for a PhD program without writing GATE. But if you have not, if you don't have a master's degree, you should write GATE and then apply. Now, you also mentioned part-time. You can come through what is called the external research program. That's also a possibility.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Back to you, Rupesh.
So can JEST exam also allow people to take an admission for CSA MTech, sir?
So I think for JEST, for MTech research and PhD, it is possible. But as far as the MTech course program is concerned, I'll have to check and get back. I think only GATE CS paper is allowed at this moment. GATE data science and artificial intelligence may come in, but it is not certain yet. But this is something that we will clarify and update in the frequently asked questions. Thank you. Next question.
Sure, sir. I think some of them are repeated. I'll just skip them. UGC net helps for getting into IIT and IISc.
Again, UGC NEST is like JEST. For MTech research and PhD, this will be considered. As far as the MTech course program is concerned in computer science and engineering or any other program, it is something that needs additional clarification. I do not have the answer ready at this moment. Yeah, please go ahead, Rupesh. We'll update the FAQ.
Sure. Is there an age limit for PhD for an admission? Not that I know of. I only think is for ERP, you can't be above 50 years. Yeah, not that I know of. Is coaching really necessary to crack exam? I think Debarpan for GATE.
Yeah, I think it kind of depends on how much coverage is being done in your BTech level. So I will say that it is not. I will not say that it is necessary, but the kind of exposure or help that they provide is that you get to practice the problems regularly, and it becomes in a scheduled manner and a regular manner, which so it depends on you. If you are able to practice previous year questions, do GATE level problems and practice and all that over the weekends or regularly, then it's not required. However, if you would like to have a kind of structured manner of maintaining all those things, like some assistance and some schedule set by somebody, if that helps you, you might like to take some help from them. But yeah, again, it boils down to learning your basics while doing the coursework of your BTech, which is very much important and cannot be covered by coachings.
Thank you, Rupashri. Maybe we can take 3 more questions and then close the session, and
Sure.
maybe we can just summarize and close. Yeah, thank you. Back to you.
Sure, sir. What are the opportunities offered for a PhD in foreign universities? Any MOUs, collaborations after MS and CS or AI? Actually, there are quite a few opportunities that I personally know of. I have people in my lab who did their masters here. Some of them are in UIUC, and some of them just went to UC Irvine. So quite a few opportunities, but I'll ask Rajesh sir to add on to this about any MOUs or collaborations that might be there.
Yeah, so we have MOUs with several universities. So if, for example, your advisor is collaborating with somebody from another university abroad, then there might be an opportunity for you to visit that particular university on the strength of that MOU. But it really depends on the particular area you're working in, and also the collaboration that your advisor has with that particular with members from the other university. So every year, possibly about maybe 20 to 30 such exchanges do happen. So there are quite a few opportunities for students. We have MOUs with a lot more universities, but of course, because of the constraints, funding, etc., there are about 20 to 30 others. Back to you, Rupesh.
And are these exchanges possible during the MS?
Yes, these are during masters or PhD.
Okay, thank you.
Will there be programming exam or MCQ based question in interview after GATE score? For PhD, I do know that there is a written test in the CDS department. It is both MCQ based and there are programming questions. In CSA, there was just a research interview.
That was for research, but for MTech CSE, as well as for the MTech AI, there is usually a programming test that will be.
Okay, so I think the last question, I'll ask Rajesh sir to answer this. A lot of students enroll for foreign universities for MS. What are the benefits of pursuing masters in India compared to USA? And how was it compared to a foreign degree in terms of courses and research, or both?
So let me begin with perhaps the kind of rigorous training that you would get here. So the program, the classes, the environment, the kind of topics that are covered are actually world class at IISc. There are many students that have actually done their masters here, then gone abroad and done a PhD there. They often come back to, when they visit us, they often tell us that, oh, we had the best training here at IISc because the program, the courses here are world class. That said, I think if you're looking to compare an IISc program and a program abroad, they are very different. They are probably uh, on par in terms of the training that you would get at the other places. You'd also get to perhaps see many students from all over India here. That said, I think universities abroad have an international flavor, which I think in India, what we have is a very mixed crowd from all over India, but we do not have as many international students as we have from abroad. So there is a cultural mix that will be different in a university abroad, and a cultural mix in India that would be different. It really depends on perhaps what kind of an experience you're looking for. But if you are looking for the kind of training that you would get in a university, which is a top-notch university abroad in India, then IISc and the top IITs would be places where you would get a similar experience. Thank you. Back to you, Rupesh.
Okay, so that will be the last question of the day. Thank you so much, Rajesh sir. Thank you, my fellow volunteers, for taking time to address all these questions. And for everybody who has joined the meeting, good luck for your exams. Do well. You will be joining a world-class university. There is a lot of extracurricular activities also that you will get to do here. It is a wonderful community. I have not been let down when I joined here as a PhD student, and I only wish the best for all of you. Thank you so much. Rajesh sir, do you want to conclude the...
Thanks to all the volunteers for taking the time to answer the questions. And there are many that perhaps have asked questions. We'll update the FAQ. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.